Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? Gavin here, Death Toll Racing. So we're moving up to the front now to do our bump stops up front. I have a spot picked out for them. It's going to be right behind the engine cross member, up against the frame rail. So right in that corner where basically where the factory steering box was and the idler arm was on the car. It actually seems to be a pretty good spot. I think it's going to work out pretty good. We'll have to build a tab off the bottom of the axle, or it'll be off the truss actually of the axle that the bump stop will hit. But I think it's going to work out pretty good there. We are going to have to do again quite a bit of plate work and stuff to get it so we actually have an area to weld this on. Of course, the frame isn't flat there, and it's not the same on both sides of the car because one side has a bunch of clearances and stuff for the steering box on it. So anyway, last episode I made a mistake. I didn't know at the time why I only had 3 inches of travel. So when I was editing the video, I looked, or actually when I was publishing the video and writing the description, I went and looked to see like what ones I actually ordered. And so when I ordered all this stuff, all our components, all is coming from Filthy Motorsports, or he's the one who put the order in he figured out the spring rate and valving and all that stuff for this thing. And he's the one who came up with these bump stops. And the reason he came up with the 3 is because I only have a 12-inch travel coilover. So if I had a 4-inch bump stop, I'd be hitting the bump stop nonstop. So he got me a limited bump stop, so it's just a 3-inch bump stop, and that's why. So they make these. These are the ones we got. They're a 2043. It's a 2 by 3. They make it in a 2x4, and that would be not limited, so the bump stop would actually come down 4 inches. They also make this bump stop in a 2x2, and then they have shorter versions. They have the 2020 is a 2x2, but it's quite a bit shorter overall assembly. And then the 2120 is a 2x2, and it's even shorter yet. And that one I was designed for a JK Jeep. So I'm not sure if it's just a bolt-in bump stop or if it must come with brackets or something. So anyway, so that's what it is. We got 2043s. That's why we have 3-inch bump stops. They make these in a much bigger bump stop diameter-wise. A 2.5, which it's only a 1/2 inch, but that is big. And then the shaft increases in size quite a bit too. I think it goes to a 2 5/8 shaft. So they have basically the same series in a 2.5 as well. The 2.5-inch stroke, 4-inch, and then a 2.5 4-inch. But it has like a spherical on the top, and then there's like a clamp on it, and then you would make it so it bolts on that way. So anyway, so that's that. And they also have a bunch of different ends and stuff you can get for them too. But I think this is probably obviously the most universal end. That's why they give them to you. So anyway, so that's that. And there we go. So that explains why we only had 3 inches of travel. So now I'll show you here real quick where those are going to go, and then I'm going to have to figure out a bunch of stuff on how to make them mount in there and make them mount in there the same, so that we have the same positioning on both sides. Okay, so I have a new idea. So this is where I was telling you I wanted to put it, and then I was going to build a plate that came off here like that. But I just had another idea. I think I'm going to go in the frame right there, and then our plate would just be coming right off of here, and it would put it out a little bit farther, which is good, and it would be pretty easy to mount in there because I could actually use a hole saw and we'll drill a pilot hole right where we want it, center, and then use a hole saw. And it actually cut that frame, and I can slide that thing right in there, get it right where we want it, and weld it on. And then all we have to do is basically brace it, so that we'll brace it there, and then we'll brace it maybe on the inside up to the other frame. Maybe we'll put a strap or something. I think that would actually work really, really good. We'd only be going up in the frame maybe like 2.5 inches or so. So it would basically just be like that, but out here. So I think that's going to be good. I think I'm just going to go with that, and we're going to make that work. And then to get it in and out. We just have to reach in here. The only problem with doing it is with the coilover in there, to get that bump stop out would probably be pretty hard. We'd probably have to take the coilover out first, but I mean, you know, a bump stop's not going to make you end a race, you know, if that thing fails. Not that we're racing this car, but I always think of it in that situation. So I don't think that would really cause too much of a problem. So I think we'll just go with it. We're going to put it right there. I'm going to cut a hole in the frame. Then we'll make a nice pad that comes out from here that it'll hit. So I'm going to clean it up right in here. And then I'm going to lay it out, see if I can lay it out on both sides. And if it works, I'll go ahead and center punch it, and we'll drill it, and I'll turn you back on. Okay, so what you just saw me do there, all in fast forward, and I'll hopefully have slowed it down in a couple spots because I actually recorded at full speed. So you saw me, I leveled the car, so the car was perfectly level on the stands, and I can do that the way I have my. Anyway, my lift is set up kind of funky, so I can trick it into twisting the car a little bit. Probably isn't good. I'm basically just stretching the cables a little bit. So anyway, so I leveled the car out, and then I got the axle in level, and so I just basically found a good height for this one, and then made this one match, and I leveled it in both directions so that everything was level. So now it should be perpendicular with the car, and they're both the same, and then I made them both the same front to back. And I made them level, but I don't know if the car's actually level front to back. So anyway, so that's where I'm going to put them. And now we just need to make stops for you know, here. So the axle is down right now about 1/4 of an inch from where like fully bottomed out would be. So I'm going to use my 2.5 inch spacer again, and then we'll make a plate that fits on there. I kind of set my height by, you know. Then I was holding my tri-square on there. I don't know if you could see it, but I held my tri-square on there 2.5 inches down, so I kind of eyeballed so that I put this height-wise where it would intersect with this right kind of in the middle, so that way my plate could be you know, pretty symmetrical on there. I'm going to make the plate kind of wide. I might even make it kind of go around this the tube, but hopefully if I lined everything up right, we should be able to just slip one in there, weld it, put a little gusset under it going down the tube there, and that'll be it. So I have some plates in mind that I might borrow for making our little perches there, and then all we have to do is gusset these a little bit, and then you know, good. They should be good. I mean, that should be pretty strong there. We just need to try to keep it from trying to twist. You know, when it gets hit kind of, you know, from an angle. You know, because it's not always going to be an ideal situation where it's hitting it straight up and down. You usually always will land on one corner or another, so it kind of goes down a little goofy on it. So we just want to try to brace it. So I want to try to put a brace in here, and then I'll put a brace in down there, and that should be good enough. It's going to be pretty strong already because it's going through the frame at an angle, so it's going to have all sorts of strength from that angle. This side is going to be really strong because it has this clearance for the steering box. So where it welds on, I got welds going in all sorts of angles on that, so that one's going to be pretty rigid. But we'll do the same bracing on this one as we did on the other one. So that looks pretty good. I'm actually really happy with that. That I was kind of dreading it, and really I should have been dreading the back where we had all the space. So yeah, so that's that. So I am going to go find those pads that I think I have for that, and then I'll figure out how wide I need to cut them. It's not 2 inches, it's wider because I'm going at an angle. I think that's 45 degrees, so I should be able to do the math on that
how wide that actually is at that point. So in fact, I know that's 45 degrees because I built it. So yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go find those plates and then I'll lay them out, and hopefully everything will work out, and we'll get welding on this thing here in a minute.
All right, here's the pads that I came up with, and I had some extras of these pads, so they had bolt holes in them, but I welded them. It should be okay once it's done. So I cut them, and then I cut an angle on them. There's a little cut, but I'll fill that with weld when I weld it on there. Anyway, they look pretty good. So I just notched it. I had this pad and it ends up being right, so I just notched it back a little bit. So, and then put a pretty fat gusset on it. In that gusset, there will be a little gap in here that doesn't get welded. It'll weld to the tube, and then there'll be a space, and then that'll be the axle tube. We'll weld there. That's clearing a weld that's on the differential on the passenger side. So that's why that's beveled like that. So anyway, so there's those. They turned out good. I mean, you know, it is what it is. They should look pretty nice on there, I think. So anyway, I'm gonna stick them on there. I'll start with this one because it's not as hot. That one I just finished welding. So. It's a really heavy wall tube, so it's kind of hard to hold up because it's so heavy. Okay, so I got all the gussets in. Man, this just turned out really cool. I'm pretty happy with it. So I can actually put a weld right down the side there too, which is going to help a lot for vertical support. And then I think when we cut for our hat, or the hat that we have to make in the engine compartment, I think I'll cut an opening so that we can actually take this out from up top. That way, if we ever need to take it out because we blew it, we won't have to take the coil out to unbolt it. So that'll be good. So I was able to get a gusset there, and then I made 2 gussets here. They're just literally a piece of flat bar cut at 32 degrees, and then so that works out pretty good. So it's strong side to side that way, and front to back that way, and then it's strong vertical. So we should be good to go. I don't really see that going anywhere. I got the other side welded already, and it didn't turn out super good. I'll show you here in a second. But all the factory welds on this, I don't know what their flux is, but it all starts coming out when you're welding, and it's really hard to weld overhead with it. But anyway, so that's kind of how that turned out. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna weld here around the axle, all the way around it, and then down the rec tube there, so there will be an area in the middle that won't be welded. So we'll just try to round it and make it look as good as we can. But that'll be fine. It'll be plenty strong. That's just like a reinforcement anyway. And that plate is a little overkill for how thick it is. It's 1/2 inch. So, but I had it, so it works. Yeah. So there's that one. And let's see. Everywhere where the weld. I'm trying to remember where that was giving me such a headache. Oh, down this was giving me a terrible time because I was right on that seam, right where all that flux was. So I had a terrible time there, and then up in here, and that plate isn't welded on really good. So now I'm gonna have to go back through and weld it because I'm kind of using it as support. So now I didn't really realize it really wasn't welded on that good. So I have to like chase it around the welds on it. So, but anyway, stay safe out there. We got a reveal coming out next week of the tow truck I've been working on. It's the Death Toll tow truck. We just go and pick up projects and stuff with. We did a complete makeover on it. It's almost done. Will has he has some more prints that I'm going to put those on myself out here. But we've been working on that a lot. That's why the progress on this has been kind of slow. So it turned out really cool. And anyway, 100% makeover on an old Ford flatbed rollback wrecker. And it went from just kind of being a cool old wrecker to being a really cool old wrecker. So I'm really excited to get that video done. I already have it started, but that one's going to be a complete from nothing to done in one video, all time lapse. So yeah, it's a really cool. Really cool one. I'm excited for it. So anyway, stay safe out there. We'll see you next week. I think the next project on the Safari Wagon will be doing the coilovers for the front, which means we have to cut the frame out on the top and build a hat for it and everything, so we can mount the coilover up there. The bottom's real simple. It just mounts on right here with 2 ears. So that's that one doesn't take much effort. But the upper we do have to build a little arch. I'm not sure exactly how high up we have to go yet. It's not very high, I don't think. It shouldn't be too bad to build. So stay safe out there. We will see you next week. Yeah. This is what he does at 7 o'clock. He gets fed. He's not like a normal cat where they get kibble. Yeah. All right.